Assalamu alaikum. This is Said Mirza on Sunday, April 25th, 2021. And today I wanted to look at the symmetry of chapter 70. Now, it is my view that there are certain chapters in the Qur'an that have a pattern, a symmetry to them. And this is one of the examples. We find in chapter 70 a definite symmetrical pattern, which I hope to show you. So let's begin. Okay, so this is chapter 70, and what I've done is I've laid out all the verses and color-coded them. This is the translation by Arberry, and I don't expect you to read this. I'm just giving you a high-level presentation of the verses. What I've done is I have highlighted verses 1 through 4 in yellow, and their corresponding verses are found at the end. The last two verses, 43 and 44, are also highlighted in yellow. The next set of verses, which are verses 5 through 7, they're highlighted in purple, and their corresponding verse is found in verse 42, which I have similarly color-coded. And this goes on until we meet in the middle of the surah. Right after verse 21, I've put a line here to indicate that these are this is where the surah falls. And this surah is 44 verses. So as you can see, it's right in the middle, close to the middle, that the symmetry folds together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you back to back the set of verses and their complement. So you're going to see in the presentation these yellow set of verses 1 through 4 and their complement, verses 43 and 44, and so forth. So let's begin. Okay, so this is set A, verses 1 through 4. A questioner asked of a chastisement about to fall, for the unbelievers, which none may avert, from God, the Lord of the stairways. To him the angels and the spirit mount up in a day, whereof the measure is 50,000 years. So what is being talked about? What is being talked about is a questioner, someone asking about the punishment that will befall the unbelievers, which none may avert from God. Now we see its complement at the last two verses of this chapter. The day they shall come forth from the tombs hastily, as if they were hurrying unto a waymark, humble their eyes, overspreading them abasement. That is the day which they were promised. These are verses 43 and 44. So in the set A, we saw that a questioner was asking about the punishment that will befall the unbelievers. Well, here you have the punishment befall them, and they will be humbled, and overspreading them will be abasement. And this punishment cannot be averted. That is the day which they were promised. Okay, now continuing on with the next set of verses. These are verses 5 through 7. So be thou patient with a sweet patience. Behold, they see it as if far off, but we see it is nigh. Okay, now what's being talked about here? The Qur'an is saying, be patient, and these people think that this is far off, but we see it as near. Let's look at the complement of this one. Verse 42. Then leave them alone to plunge and play until they encounter that day of theirs which they are promised. So again, leave them to their own devices. Next one. Upon the day when heaven shall be as molten copper, and the mountains shall be as plucked wool-tufts. These are verses 8 through 9. And what's being talked about here is that there will be a change of reality. What we know as solid, as material, will be changed. Mountains will become like wool. They will lose their solid characteristic, and the heaven shall be turned into molten copper. Let's look at the complement of this one. Not so, for we have created them of what they know. No, I swear by the Lord of the Easts and the Wests, surely we are able to substitute a better than they. We shall not be outstripped. These are verses 39 to 41. So they already know that we have created them of something solid, like the mountains. And on that day, God will substitute them for something else, something better. And God is not to be outstripped. Okay, set D. These are verses 10 to 14. No loyal friend shall question loyal friend, as they are given sight of them. The sinner will wish that he might ransom himself from the chastisement of that day, even by his sons, his companion wife, his brother, his kin who sheltered him, and whosoever is in the earth altogether, so that then it might deliver him. We see the complement of this in verses 36 through 38. What ails the unbelievers running with outstretched necks towards thee on the right hand and on the left hand in knots? What, is every man of them eager to be admitted to a garden of bliss? Now, Arberry is translating some words here in a manner which obviously does not get the point across. So I looked at other translations, and I think this is a better rendering of these verses. What ails the unbelievers hastening before you, towards thee on the right hand and on the left hand in separate groups? If you look around you, you see people in their own world, in their own cliques, in their own groups, and they're walking around, and they feel safe, they feel secure, they feel validated. And they think these people around them will help them. They're going to support them, right? And we see that will not be the case. On that day, no loyal friend shall question another loyal friend. And that these people who are your good friends, they will ransom. If they can escape the punishment, they will give you to the punishment if they can save themselves. Next one. This is verses 15 to 16. Nay, verily, it is a furnace snatching away the scalp. This is talking about hell. And on the other side, we have verse 35. Those shall be in gardens, high honored. So here, those people will be honored in the gardens, and on the other side, in hell, they will be in a furnace, snatching away their scalp. Next set of verses 17 to 18. Calling him who drew back and turned away, who amassed and hoarded. So this is a person who is turning away from the message of God, and he is amassing and hoarding wealth. Let's look at the complement of this. These are verses 24 to 34. Those in whose wealth is aright known, for the beggar and the outcast, who confirm the day of doom, and go in fear of the chastisement of their Lord. From their Lord's chastisement none feels secure, and guard their private parts, save from their wives and what their right hands own, then not being blameworthy. But whoso seeks after more than that, they are the transgressors, and who preserve their trusts and their covenant, and perform their witnessings, and who observe their prayers. Now, the word salat here is being rendered as prayer by Arberry, but if you've looked at Brother Garen's translation, you know that this word means duties. And this makes sense because these are the duties that they are observing. They are giving wealth to the poor. They are guarding their private parts. They are confirming the day of judgment. And this is the inverse of what this person is doing, who will end up in hell. He is turning away from the God's message, and he is amassing and hoarding wealth. Okay, next set of verses. Surely man was created fretful, when evil visits him impatient, when good visits him grudging. These are verses 19 through 21, and we see their complement in verses 22 and 23. Save those that pray, and continue at their prayers, continue at their duties. So man is created anxious. When good befalls him, he is grudging. When evil befalls him, he wants it to end. Unlike those who keep to their duties, and they are continuing on their duty. They are being patient. They are asking God for help, remembering Him, and being thankful to Him. So this concludes my presentation on the symmetry of chapter 70. As you can see that there's a definite pattern to this chapter, and there are other chapters like this in the Qur'an that God willing I will make videos on. But I hope this gives you more confidence in the Qur'an, and I think this is something that you can show to the skeptics of the Qur'an, and this will give them food for thought. God willing, until the next video, peace and blessings be upon you.